Hey everybody, this is Out of the Ordinary with Jay. I want to give you kind of a weird one here, but I did a video on lucid dreaming a while back, so I thought I'd follow up with this one since I just had a freaky weird dream slash nightmare last night, which I actually got up at 2 a.m. and recorded right after it happened. So it'll be at the end of this video so you can see it like live how I was freaking out. But anyways, the way that it was almost like two dreams in one. It started off with like my father, who's been deceased now for like 10 years or close to that. We were all at kind of like not like a state fairgrounds, but some big type of event like that. And most of the family, the immediate family was there. But I remember like telling my family, like, oh no, dad's back. He's cool. He's cool. And, but then he ends up like, he's like drunk and half dead, almost very sick, and like this sitting down like in a chair, like we're getting like where a lot of people would sit to like watch a show. And and then I'm having second thoughts about telling my family that he's okay, and we should hang with him. And then so then I'm like, hey, I'm starting to freak out. I look over at my dad, and he's passed out, like almost like gone already again. And then um so much so I tell my family, I'm like, go, you guys just go, I'll take care of this. So then I go over to check on my dad, and some other human. The place is starting to fill up for people to watch whatever this show or event's going to be, and somebody literally pushes him to the side and like sits in his chair. He's about a third on the chair, hunched over, basically gone, and somebody else is sitting like right in his chair, like they've like almost like he's not there. So it's kind of weird. But then it transitioned into what I would say is the real um, sort of nightmare situation, which was um, there's this like big house, a huge house type thing or construction type project where there's like some demo work or something going on, and for whatever reason I've got to like clean it up. It's like I think it's like my house or my property, and so I clean it up, and then shortly thereafter I have to clean it up again. It's all back exactly the way it was, even though I had just cleaned it up. I'm like, what is going on? But I just like clean it up. I don't know what's my mind's thinking, like, this is weird. I feel like I can just clean this up, but I do it anyways. I clean it up, and then my brother is over at my house to like stay with me. And so we go and we're getting ready for, or we're about to go to bed. And I remember telling him, like, we open the windows. He opens one window, I open another window. We get this wonderful cross breeze going on. And I'm telling my brother, I'm like, see, bro, see, this is great. This is that super nice breeze I'm talking about that I love at my favorite place in Washington. I'm telling him about it, and he's like, yeah, okay, great. And so then it's like a big king bed, and he's laying on one side, gonna sleep on one side. I'm gonna sleep on the other side, and like just as we're asleep or something like that, there's a big. I hear like a knocking, like a knock, 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 and I'm like, whoa, and it's freaking me out. And I'm thinking like nobody should be here. So I'm like, bro. I'm like, somebody's breaking in. Somebody's breaking in. I'm like, you gotta help me. You gotta help me out here. So I reach down underneath the bed and grab a baseball bat, and then I go and grab him like a hammer, like a claw hammer, which I have those things in my real house, but they're not in the same room, and so it's kind of weird. It should have been my first clue that this was a dream because they were in the same room. So I grab him the hammer, I think out of the bathroom or something, and we both go out. He's like right behind me, and we go out to see what the knocking is, and it's these construction guys, and they're demoing the thing all over again. They're about 90% done. It looks like I haven't done the work. Now, this would be like the third time I'd have to clean up the mess. They're almost finished up on it. But I turn to my brother and I say, oh, don't worry. Nobody's breaking in. These guys are cool. These guys are cool. I know them. They're all right. But then I'm like, well, wait a minute. What is going on? This is like the third time I'm seeing this construction site that I'm like going to have to clean. So I'm like, so now I'm walking with my brother and we're holding hands looking at like the construction stuff or whatever, and I'm having a conversation with him about like what is going on here, what is going on, and he's like, whatever. And then all of a sudden, when I'd ask him a question or I'd say, "What, isn't this weird?" He would just repeat back to me what I'm saying. He goes, "Isn't this weird?" And I'm like, "Why is my brother saying exactly what I'm saying? It's weird." So then I turn back, and now it's not even like my brother anymore. It's like a guy but like an indescript guy, somebody I've never met before, just kind of like a clone of a human or something. And so like I kind of like what in I so now I know something's going on. I'm in a dream, or I'm in a nightmare. I kind of relinquish my hand. I'm like, okay, let's just get the hell out of here. I'm like, this is not pretty. So then I'm like, I want out of this dream or nightmare or whatever. And I yell. This is sort of my like my lucid dreaming side coming in. I'm like, okay, I'm getting out of this dream now. So I'm gonna yell, wake up in the dream to wake up in real life, which has been successful for me in the past when I've needed to do that. So I scream, I want out bad. So I scream really loud, wake up, super duper loud. But then nothing happens. I don't wake up. And so I'm like, oh crap, I'm like in this dream. And so then what starts coming, or in this nightmare, then what happens is in the dream, I'm thinking, like, oh crap, I am comatose. Maybe I was on a construction site and I got hit or something. And right now in real life, I'm laid up in a hospital in a coma. And or I got in some accident, and this is the dream that I've been given. But I'm in real life, I'm thinking, oh shit, I am in a coma right now in real life. And this little construction loop thing uh, with my brother, where I'm constantly cleaning up this mess or something, uh, this is going to most likely be the world that I inhabit mentally until I come out of this coma, however long that takes. And I was really starting to freak out in the dream, thinking like, oh shoot, my cognitive abilities are coming back, but I'm trapped in a coma. And I'm starting to think, man, I hope these doctors do good work. Where am I really? Etc. Etc. Anyways, thankfully, shortly thereafter, I woke up, and the next recording you'll see is when I woke up, what I instantly recorded the moment I got up. But I wanted to do this since it will probably be a little more clear since I was just waking up. All right, enjoy. It was weird. Holy shit, I just woke up from what was the scariest dream or nightmare I've ever had in my entire life. And so I thought I'd chronicle it. I don't have any understanding of where the context is or where it came from. I don't get the genesis of it at all either. But basically, I had been having this dream where I was on like, not a construction site, but like I was almost like I was renovating a big home. I think it was of mine, but it was big, like a big home, not any home I've ever really had, with like lots of property and stuff in or something like that. I don't remember, but I came in and then um like all the rooms were pretty much like destroyed and everything. Um, and so I was gonna clean it all up and sell everything that was left. I think I was gonna give it to my somebody to sell or my mom to sell. I don't know. And I cleaned it all up and like I went outside again or something, and I came back, and then most or all of it I had to like it was all back there, and I was like, whoa, this is weird. I know I already like cleaned this or already or something like that, or got it all cleaned up, most of it cleaned up. Nice, I started cleaning it up again, and then I did, and then I like fell asleep pretty early. Like I went to bed early, kind of early. And I was really tired or something. I go to bed early, and then I wake up, and oh, I'm like at a it's my house, but like for some reason, my brother is over. I don't know, maybe it's a project or something we're working on or traveling, or I don't know, but we're sharing like a king bed. He's on one side, I'm on the other side. My brother is, and then I wake up and uh, again in this dream or whatever nightmare, and I'm looking around and I'm like, whoa, like oh, I remember I was hearing a noise like a knocking, and I this is what happened. Sorry, I go back. I'm hearing this knocking, and I wake up and I go, hey, bro, Nick. I go, there's somebody in the freaking house, man. I'm like, I heard this noise. I'm gonna go check it out. So I go. I'm looking for my glasses. I find this baseball bat underneath my bed, like I normally would have, or whatever. And then I go get this hammer that happens to be uh, like in this other room. I have one in my house too, kind of up on a safe, but now it was all in the same room, which is not normal. That should have been a clue that I was in a dream state. Anyways, I go get it. Um, And this whole time, by the way, I am thinking I'm in a dream or a nightmare. Like I'm knowledgeable that I'm in this nightmare. Kind of like lucid dreaming, kind of, not really. Anyway, so I go get the hammer for Nick. I'm like, hey, dude, you got to follow me. Like, let's go figure out what the hell's going on in here. Who broke in the house. We go out, and the same mess is all back again, as if I hadn't cleaned it up already twice. The whole house is a wreck, a disaster, like a demo construction job. What I was hearing was all the guys that were doing the demo work basically doing it again. And I'm like, I turned to my brother and I go, hey, dude, at least, I said, oh, I know these guys are cool. They're not breaking in. They're just doing work. And they're like, wait a minute. They've already done all this work. Like I've cleaned it now. This would be like the third time. And I'm like, what is going on? Something has looped in my head. Um, Wrong. Like this is like or deja vu times three or whatever. Like what is going on? And I'm like, I must. So then I'm thinking in my head. Now I'm sort of like, okay, I'm just be asleep. And this is like obviously like a nightmare. And I'm like, so, or no, sorry. Before that, I start freaking out. And I'm like, what is going on? What is going on? What is going on? And I'm holding my brother's hand. And I'm like, dude, I'm so glad you're here with me. I'm so glad you're here with me. And I'm like, this is freaking me out. And so then he's like, yeah, 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 yeah. So then we start going like walking around like the little like kind of like neighborhood or outside the house just to verify. And I'm like, oh my gosh, this is all like a repeat. Like this has already happened. All this is in like yesterday. And I'm still like kind of like I'm like, I'm glad you're here with me. But now he's basically just echoing exactly what I say. Like, so when I say I'm glad to be here, he's like, glad to be here. And I'm like, wait a minute, this is not. So now I'm extra freaking out because now I thought my brother was in this mess with me, but now I realize it's just me and this is just another, you know, thing I've created or whatever. It's not really my brother. It's just, and all of a sudden it's now I'm like kind of holding hands with this guy that's like, doesn't look like me or Nick. It's kind of, I don't know what it is. It's just something. And, I'm like, so I let go of his hand, or I'm like, damn it, I'm like, this is just me making up shit, and I'm like, so then I'm like, okay, I'm definitely, now I'm like kind of getting like a little lucid dreamy, and I'm like, okay, I'm in a really effed up situation here. It's time to wake up. So then I like in my dream while maybe I am still holding my brother's hand, or I don't know, something like that. But I yell really loud in my dream. I remember making myself yell, "Wake up!" Like I scream it, "Wake up!" I keep saying "wake up" really loud, and then I don't wake up, and so then I'm like, "Oh man!" Then I'm in the dream. I start thinking like, "Oh shit! Maybe I was unaware and I got hit on the head on this construction site really hard, or I fell asleep and something happened to me." And so then I'm in my dream. I'm thinking in real life, I had gone into like a comatose state or something. And so I was starting to get really worried in my dream or my nightmare that I was now in this real life comatose state and that this was going to be the loop I was going to be dealing with was this broken house, this broken down house. And then it was constantly going to be like these construction guys. It was never going to be fixed. I was going to constantly be cleaning it for no reason. And this was going to be like my new life and adventure. And in real life, I was hooked up to machines keeping me alive or dealing with this comatose situation. And this was going to be my life until I was able to hopefully wake up out of it. So I was thinking, lucid dreaming wise, or whatever you want to call that, I was thinking, oh crap, in real life, I'm really in a bad way right now. And, you know, I'm not going to wake up out of this until I get healed from whatever tragedy had befallen me and put me into this comatose state. Thankfully, shortly thereafter, I really did wake up, and so now I'm recording this video. And man, that was the scariest dream or nightmare I have ever had. Okay, bye. Oh, and like many nightmares, it didn't start out necessarily as a nightmare. So at first, I remember I was talking with my brother about we were opening um, like some windows to get like a crosswind going through the place that we were staying or whatever this big house thing was. We were opening some windows because it was time to go to bed, and we had this like awesome like breeze coming through this crosswind. I remember telling him I was like, oh, this is just like my favorite place in Washington. Like, you're gonna love this breeze. It's great. And I was bragging about it. And then shortly thereafter, that's when all hell broke loose in this dream that became a nightmare. Anyway, it makes you really think about what base reality really is. So I'm going to get up and walk around the house for a minute and make sure everything's exactly the way that I remember leaving it. Um, and hopefully from there, I'll go back to my good dreams that I've been having the last a few years and no more nightmares. Oh, oh, just to add one other last other point to that, to give it some more context, because I rarely have nightmares ever. Like, I haven't had, well, at least in the last couple of years, I can't even recall having, I don't know if I've even had a single nightmare in a few years now, or a couple of years. So that's extra weird. And then I've never had a nightmare like this. Like, often dreams, they can repeat and things like that. This is pretty much brand new. So anyways, just interesting points of context. All right. Sleep well.